will freak out like you're in some monkey cage at the zoo. There will be riots in the street, and Pearl Abyss will get sued because you are so de-evolutionized and honestly, in 2 words, you are homo dumb shiticus supremacus. Your own species of mentally handicapped. You're a member of Al Qaeda. Okay, so in this video, welcome back, guys. We're going to be talking about what your class says about you. Also, what the community of that class sounds like to the rest of the classes in BDO. Okay, like to the rest of us. What does like that Discord seem like? What does that like group of players seem like to the rest of the people in BDO? We're gonna start off with a really rough one because warriors are the most degenerate, toxic. I mean, if someone was gonna call me, if I felt like someone was like 22-year-old or less and was gonna call me a racial or homophobic slur, I would guess that they were a warrior main. Okay, if they were a really competitive PvPer and thought that they were a super gamer, I would have guessed that they're a warrior main. Warrior mains are almost exclusively men that all really want to be good at PvP, think they're gods, and can only really grab people and then combo them while they're on the ground when they're grabbed. Okay. Now, they're also absolute Giga Chad alphas. Okay, so like, although they can be overwhelmingly toxic, they are also alphas. So they can take it too. So you shit on a warrior, they're like, yeah, I'm ass. I'm ass. They're more than happy. They're more than happy to say, I f***ed up, or I am bad, or whatever, but their ego is going to be hurt, and it's going to make them grind even harder. The best way to get a warrior to go grind is to call them dog shit. Then they will hate you for the next 3 months, grind their asses off, come back only to miss their grab, be farmed again just to have you be farmed again just to have them go repeat the same cycle again. Okay. Rangers are basically tell me that you're a victim without telling me you're a victim. Honestly, Ranger mains could be a naked orange and still complain about not being peeled correctly. Like, at the end of the day, these people are basically sitting on a casting couch constantly. Succession Rangers particularly are just complete victim POV classes in just about every single form of PvP. They'll constantly bitch about how their class is squishy and how their class is weak while they one-shot you from across the screen. Okay? It's ridiculous. It's feast or famine, complete bullshit. And Awakening Rangers like to downplay how good they actually are because they're all complete dog shit at the class. All of them want to pretend that they're flannels, but they're all just total ass at the class. And at the end of the day, because none of them can play the class correctly, the class seems a lot weaker than it actually is. Okay. Your favorite band is Evanescence. You probably cut yourself growing up in Minecraft. You hate yourself, and you hate other people for playing your class. So whenever a new player comes in, your goal when they ask for questions on Sorc is to get them to stop playing Sorc. Ideally, you would get them to go play Dark Knight, which is the objectively worst version of your class. You just don't want to tell them that. Okay, but it's very important that very few amounts of people play your class because you have a victim personality, and you can't play a class that is possibly mainstream. Anyway. Okay, so you probably have a voice that makes women fall over and just get wet sitting in their chairs listening to it. Okay, you are an absolute alpha male giga chad. You might even have a girlfriend IRL. You've won at life in most cases, but most importantly, your voice sounds like sex IRL. Okay, but you almost complain about literally nothing in the game, but your class constantly gets buffs that you know it doesn't need, but because you're such an alpha, you'll constantly say, yeah, we like that buff, that was a good buff, we'll take that, and then you'll just shut the up again. Your class has literally never been nerfed in the history of the game, at least the history of the last like 2 or 3 years of the game. It just consistently receives buffs all the time, and you're okay with that. Because your mentality here is you're not a victim. You're not a victim. You're also not really a shit talker. Most berserkers don't open their mouth. You will sit there and farm someone 57 times in a row, unknown, giggling to yourself and your crop top, sleeve cut off, alpha male status. You're sitting there again, crop top, sleeves are cut off. You got tattoos on your arm of a ugly ass berserker and maybe your other girlfriend on the other arm. You've got guns sitting behind you, whatever, and you'll laugh to them, but you won't ever open your mouth about it. Not like a warrior will. You ain't a bitch. You are a bitch. Somehow a worse bitch. These people are on. Okay, these people are floating their ability to get on an FBI watch list. They swear to God it's not because she's super young. They really just like the pet on the class, and that's a fair statement to make. But you're also a complete weeb, have a favorite anime. Honestly, you have a 7th favorite anime, and you just can't help yourself. It's just unbelievable. You just can't help talking about that anime to other people. Oh, and talking about how your class is somehow a victim POV, despite the fact that you're the best 1v1 class in the game, and you're also super good at PvE. And honestly, Tamer mains have calmed down recently. They have calmed down recently. Lately, they haven't said a word, okay? The 8 of them, okay, got on a Discord call with each other, and they all said, okay, if we just don't say anything, they won't buff us or nerf us, even though we're completely overpowered. Just no one say anything. And it was meeting adjourned. You are a limp dick, complete loser who constantly tries to chat PvP like he's good at the game, when the reality of the situation is that you are so bad. And your definition of being good is running in, super armor trading, and if that doesn't work, you're gonna run away forever like a complete pussy, and you think that this is PvP. And then when you get one shot, you complain that your class is weak. You anime freak. Just go play Wuthering Waves. We already know that you're a total weeb. You could not be any more of a Giga Chad alpha male absolute unit. Sadly for you, only the other anime weebs think this about you. The other people that have spent $10,000 or more on a gacha game also believe this in themselves, okay? And all of you play Maehwa. All of you play Maehwa. Every single one of you. Your class has maximum boob slider. Okay, you don't give a shit that you've been the worst class in the game in just about every format of the game for the last like 8 years, at least for Awakening. Okay, only pussies play Succession. All right, complete pussies play Succession, and your entire community hates Neptunes. Because it makes your class look bad. Just gotta be honest. It's a fair take. You like having sex with women that are wearing all of their clothing. You are a complete prude You go to church on Sundays. You're super Christian, wholesome, family value. I'm gonna do it for other people. Professional virtue signaling freak. Okay? You don't jack off to attractive women. You jack off to attractive women helping other people play the game better. Okay? You don't care about necessarily landing a big ult. You just want to get that, oh God, tell me my heal was good again. Oh, tell me again. Okay, that's what you want. Every Valkyrie made in the history of the universe. All right? Support porn, basically, is all this is. Okay, so you are a professional victim. Okay? You cannot play male classes. You just can't. Because the ninja counterpart is objectively better. You know it. You say it all the time. You hate yourself. Doesn't matter. You're an anime weeb that has to play an attractive female character, or you physically can't wrap your head around combat in BDO. Okay? And that's totally fine. You are objectively a victim. At your core, Kunoichi mains hate themselves. They hurt themselves in Minecraft, of course, on a regular basis because it makes them feel better. All right? It's not quite to the extent of Sork, where you're listening to Evanescence. I'd say Kuno is more of a Papa Roach situation. Okay? Where you have cuts all over your body in Minecraft, and you just like hurting yourself, and then you log into BDO, and you're like, how can I manifest this in a hot girl in BDO? And then you click on the Kunoichi, and you never looked back. That being said, you are without a doubt some of the most talented players in Black Desert Online's community. It's not even remotely close. Also, you're not a complete pussies like the ninja mains next to you. You're not afraid to play a weak class and shut the up about it. Kunos don't really like, do Kunos complain that they're weak? Yeah, but only if somebody else is already saying that Kuno is weak. Then the Kuno will open their mouth. For the most part, Kunoichi mains just shut the up and take it, because the weaker that they are, honestly, the easier it is for them to goon to their class. Okay, so these people are the complete opposite. These people want to live out the anime, Yasuo main, Yone main, freak, anime hero, like cosplay in the Black Desert universe. And they don't give a shit about playing a female character. They need to live that fantasy. They're also all femboy virgins that refuse to speak with women in a reasonable human being fashion. Okay? Because they're way too caught up. They say, baby, no, the sex can wait. I have to complain about how weak my class is. Because no matter how strong this class gets buffed, these loser weebs will say that it's not good enough. No matter what it is, they could say tomorrow that the class is going to get triple the damage on the global labs, and somehow Armin and the other ninjas would find a way to say that not only is this a nerf, but Ninja is so dead now and no one will be able to play the class anymore. Anyways, no strong feelings there. In the bedroom, you queue up as a top. Okay, if this was League of Legends, you queue up for top lane in the bedroom. Okay, if you catch my drift. You are a top. All right? Now, don't get me wrong. You are still a whiny bitch, but you are on top, at least. Okay? You're an alpha, but there's a certain part of you that is Slay Queen, okay? You don't have that Berserker energy. You don't have that warrior energy, okay? That femboy demon is inside you. You just don't let it manifest very often, okay? Every once in a while, you do sound like a whiny little bitch. But, like, for the most part, wizards just shut their mouth unless their name is Huntler, all right? Now, also, You are objectively always better than women. Always. You just have this persona about you unless you are literally dominant over your female counterpart in every conceivable way. PvE, 1v1s, small scale, large scale, doesn't matter. You're a misogynistic, sexist pig that has to be better at literally everything than witch. There's no animosity here. You are a bottom. You literally walk into the bedroom. If a woman were to walk into the room, you would lay down and spread your legs out of habit. Okay? You're objectively worse at everything. You are inferior in every conceivable way, but you are cute out of your mind. Okay? You are... Everything about you says breedable. Okay, both IRL and in-game. All right, your character model says it, your person says it, your Discord profile says it, everything about it. You couldn't be an alpha if they paid you. There are very select few witches, which we would describe as our switches. Okay, they are switch hitters, but for the most part, the majority of us are complete bottoms, would get rolled over by a cricket. All right, we just want you to dominate us and be better at us than everything. Also, you will never complain about being dog shit ever. You don't complain about it. You get upset and cry like a whiny bitch. You get upset, you cry like a whiny bitch, but you're gonna take it. So when you get nerfed, you're gonna cry like a bitch, but you're gonna also take it like one too. You ain't gonna fight like Ninja. You ain't gonna fight like Sork. You ain't got that fight in you. You just gonna keep your legs spread and keep taking it. Because for some reason, every time you get nerfed, you like it in some sick way, you freaks. Okay, buckle up for this crash out. All right. You are so derangedly devolved that the other human beings on the evolutionary chart, literally, you branched before the rest of us. You're here. Okay, the rest of us are over here evolutionarily. And part of the reason that you have this crazy main character syndrome where you somehow think that your class is not strong enough and the developers keep listening to you is because they know that you are so you actually cannot understand even basic communication skills that other human beings would give you. So if they do nerf you, you will freak out like you're in some monkey cage at the zoo. There will be riots in the street and Pearl Abyss will get sued because you are so de-evolutionized and honestly, in 2 words, you are homo dumb shiticus supremacus. Your own species of mentally handicapped. You bitch about everything. You're the main character in the game. You never get nerfed. Somehow, some way, you just find a way to grab people. You think you're good at PvP. Oh god, every striker. I'm a god. Oh, I'm so good. Hey, what's your strategy against Dark Knight? I'm gonna run at them and then I'm gonna grab them. Okay, well, what's your strategy against other strikers? I'm gonna grab them. Okay, well, what's your strategy against Sork? I'm gonna grab him. Okay, every single striker. Nobody puts a W in grab like your ass does. Honestly, I'm not a furry, but I would have sex with a mystic. You also don't qualify as the same species as the rest of us human beings.
Hey, girl.
by some freak happenstance, you still happen to be close enough to us chromosomally that we find you attractive. Okay, your legs are the most attractive class in the game. You kind of low-key have a victim complex. So although you want to play the martial artist, you can't play striker. He's too strong. He's too strong, and you must play the female class. You must play the female class. You love combos, you love legs, and you love not being particularly good at the game as striker, because the spotlight will never be on you. You never have to worry about it. You never have to worry about it. But I don't really have too many bad things to say about Mystic. These players are good people. To be honest with you, most Mystics, it's when you find these people in the open world, it's a around and find out. Strikers are much more aggressive apes. Okay, you find a striker in the open world. Okay, they've already started freaking out because you're a white dot on their minimap and they can't contain their excitement. Mystics, generally speaking, will not lose their shit unless you come near them. Usually it's a around and find out situation where unless you flag up and hit the Mystic on Arsha, they're probably not going to bother you. Okay, in fact, they probably didn't notice you because they were too busy staring at their character's thighs. Speaking of thighs, you are the people that legitimately only care that your character is the most Coomer bait, attractive, hottest Asian female character in the game. You don't give a about skill effects. You don't give a about class theming. You don't give a shit about anything. Your every single outfit you have bought for Lahn is the exact same outfit in a different skin with a really high cut side cut outfit. It's the same thing every time. And sure, yeah, you could just dye your other outfit, but what's the fun in that? You bought 6 of these outfits. They all look exactly the same, and all of them are to just show off your character's thighs and ass. If for some reason you do find yourself caring about skill effects, you just play Awakening. But the most important thing to you is that your character is hot as you associate as they, them. You may or may not have a penis figuratively or have had a penis at some point in your life. Maybe you don't like the fact that you don't have a penis. Either way, maybe you paint your nails on the regular, whether it's black, pink, turquoise, doesn't matter. If you've looked at nail polish on as a man and said, damn, I could, you're probably an archer main. Okay? In fact, most of the time, you're the reason in the BDO community we have to check for an Adam's apple. Straight up. You're also a complete victim POV. You try to be a bigger victim than Ranger, but sadly, you are not as much of a woman as she is, and she is more attractive than you, even if you were. So, tough shit. No one cares about you. All we care about is our big, thick-thighed, big-ass-tittied Ranger. I'm going to listen to that woman over this woman here. No one gives a shit about your opinion because let's be honest, if we disagree with archers, they're not going to do anything about it anyway. They're femboy pussies. You are the rank 1 alpha male Giga Chads, the ultimate and original Coomer bait of the community. When you jack off, it's not because you think your character's attractive. It's because you think you're married to your character. Okay, you are the ultimate RPing, thigh-loving, elf titty-loving Coomer, and the definition of why the BDO community is seen as the ERP community. When we talk about role-playing in BDO, the only thing where our mental goes to is the ERPing. It's because of the Dark Knights and how good they are at taking screenshots. Dark Knights sometimes moonlight as Lahn mains in their free time. When they're standing around in town, they say, I've already taken 340 photos of my Dark Knight today. Why don't we switch to my Lahn and take a picture of her ass for a while? Both Lahn and Dark Knight take the most screenshots of their character in the game. The difference is Dark Knights get unreasonably emotionally attached to their characters and think that she's real. Okay, this weird complex that we just can't stop thinking that our character, she could be real. She could be so real. Oh my God, I just had a Dark Knight in real life. You also have a victim complex, meaning if other people are playing your class, just like Sork, you're trying to ping them to another class. If too many people start playing Dark Knight, people might actually think that the class is good, and you can't have that, because in PvP, let's be honest, your class sucks at PvP. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. Okay, and so when you beat somebody in PvP, it's not because they're bad. It's because they're good, and you are literally just that much better at Dark Knight that you could be playing a worse class and still beat these absolute apes at their class. And do you know why? It's because you are unreasonably attached to your character. I tomb for my character more than you. I know more about my Dark Knight than you. Than you know about your Striker or your Mystic. Okay? It's a complex. It's this freak victim complex that I swear to God exists in BDO. It's like your class can't be the mainstream class, because if it was, then you wouldn't have an excuse for getting farmed. Because if you get killed 5 times on node, it's just because Dark Knight's bad. But if you beat them 5-0, it's not because you have 400 more gear score than them, it's because you're a god. You're a member of Al-Qaeda. So, realistically, Shais, you are definitely on a watch list. It's not even a question. But honestly, sometimes undeservedly so. Realistically speaking, you have considered terrorist organizations in the past. When you join a video game, your objective in the video game is not to win or be better or even support. Your objective in the video game is to be as annoying as humanly possible, while also playing some little like gremlin of a character. Okay, it's got to be a little tiny character, and you have to be annoying. These people exist in every single MMO. In BDO, it just so happens to be Shai's. And the reason that I say that you probably can't get on an airplane and go somewhere, it's because you're a flight risk. And the reason that is again, you approach every situation like, how annoying can I be to other people in this? And the more annoying you are, the happier you are. The more pissed that your opponent is, as a little nail-biting, ankle-cutting gremlin, the happier you are. It doesn't matter if you actually kill them or you're winning. That's irrelevant. Did you make your opponent upset? These players. Yeah, gnomes in WoW. Exactly. Okay, you walk by other Guardian mains in the open world and you look at each other and you say, because there's a mutual respect there. Because both of you have this weird Dom fantasy where this Brienne of Tarth, except attractive person, is going to come up and step on you in the bedroom, chain you up and beat you to within an inch of your life. And you're going to say, "Mommy, more, please." The fact that both of you are playing Guardian means that both of you have the same sexual tendencies in the bedroom with other women, sometimes men. It really, honestly, on your Tinder profile, you're seeking female companionship, female optional at the end of the day. Because really, you're just looking for somebody that's in shape to step on you. You played Prince of Persia, and now all you want to play is Prince of Persia. You are a complete loser. And even when you're losing, and you're getting absolutely farmed, your class looks super cool, and that's all you care about. Because when you actually win, like, you run into an enemy ball 15 times and get farmed every time because you don't care because that look cool, and that's not what's going to make it into the montage. The only thing that's going to make it into the montage is the one time where you dove in and got 2 kills. Okay? You do love anime. You probably have a Musa tagged to your character because you're a freak like that. And at the end of the day, you always end up in going to play that Musa again because he's way easier than Hash. But overall, Hash mains are kind of cool. They're okay. I ain't got no problems with Hash mains. Just like the Valkyrie before you, you like having sex with women who are almost completely clothed all the time. You are also unnaturally attracted to blondes, and for some freak ass reason. You cannot dye this character's hair another color. It just does not work. And Nova mains are okay with that. You do an unnecessary amount of drugs in your free time, and if those drugs are depressants, then you play Succession, and if those drugs are accelerants, then you're playing Awakening every time. You, of course, are on a victim POV arc right now because your class got nerfed on the global labs. No one gives a shit, though, because, again, you've been overpowered for a really long time, except for, of course, Succession, which has been the victim aspect of Nova is Succession, but then they got super nerfed, so now the 8 Succession Nova mains that currently exist on the server are now able to face roll. They can place their nose on the keyboard and roll from left to right. Previously, they had to roll right and then left. It's much easier for them symmetrically if they go the other way first. It just makes more sense. And again, if you're terrible at the video game, you play Succession. If you're actually good at the game or have an excess amount of drugs, then you play Awakening. You are literally the main character and have been since the moment that you came out of your mom's womb. You actually just cannot stand not being the center of attention. The worst part for the rest of us is that you don't even ask to be the center of attention. When you walk into a room and there are 10 other guys in the room, the other 10 guys have to look around and go, okay, who is the second most attractive woman in the room? Because the most attractive woman is already taken by you because you're that much of a alpha. Okay? Buff, nerf, stay the same, stamina changes, doesn't matter. You play your class through thick and thin. You are capital H him. Bet you even have a girlfriend, you freak. Boobs! I like boobs! We love boobs! Boobs! I want to play a pirate with boobs. I want the biggest badonkadonk titties you've ever seen in your entire life. And I want to RP as a sailor. I main Misfortune and League of Legends, and no, I'm not talking about the game itself. I'm talking about Pornhub, okay? Because at the end of the day, you can just imagine that it's your Corsair. Your class is absolute ass, and you don't give a shit about that because even if your class is ass, you're like, we know. Have you seen it? And you turn around because you're staring at your character's ass. We're talking about the metagame. Your class has been garbage since the moment that it was nerfed. It came out, it was overpowered, it was nerfed. Both aspects have been basically garbage. Since then, Awakening can be made to work if you're a god. But if you're a god at Awakening Corsair and you were playing literally any other class of the game, you would be outperforming yourself. Corsair mains don't give a they don't care that resistances are going to get removed and that they're passive, that their kit used to revolve around resistance. They don't give a about any of that shit. They don't give a about they linger their super armors longer than Musa does. I don't give a about any of that shit, or that they're easily grabbable. In fact, they love the fact that they're grabbable. When a Corsair gets grabbed, they clip it and use it for later. For again, we go back to the Misfortune fantasy on Cornhub. Boobs. You have a step on me mommy complex, very much so like Guardian, but you want to play a class that actually looks really cool and vibes with a dragon. Also, you may want to have sex with a dragon. It's kind of like it's like 50-50. Lola Bunny ruined half of our generation, so there's that. You want to be stepped on, you want the really cool skill effects, you don't really give a shit about how good or bad your class is, you're going to play it regardless. You don't complain about anything anymore. You just want to play your dragon. You are a stuck up bitch of a Karen, and you are the reason why everybody hates society nowadays. You virtue signal out of your mind, you prissy little stuck up bitch. And the only reason that people put up with you at all is because you're attractive and they don't want to ruin their chances of having sex with you. You're the hot emo goth girlfriend of the Karen. You literally have had sex with more men than I have seen women in my life. Okay? Or, on the contrary, you want to be with a woman who meets that description. What the f is a Karen? Honestly, just go look it up. If you know, you know. Yeah, you are the definition of a party girl. You are all about the resistance. You just need to be different from the other girls. You're not like the other girls. You're different. You're edgy. You're the gamer girl. Okay? When the reality of the situation is you're fat or you're ugly IRL and nobody wants to be around you. So you play Maegu because then you can have the same personality but actually be hot. You are the nicest, most outgoing person in the entire game. In the entire community. You are the nicest, most outgoing community. When you see another scholar in the open world, you're not like Sork, where you're going to try to get him to quit the class. You walk up to another scholar, even on Arsha, you're like, you're playing scholar too? Oh my god, twinning. Oh my god, do you like her too? Oh my god, I love swinging my hammer around. And you just vibe with other scholars. Because there are so few of you, you're basically an endangered species. You are also dangerously attracted to redheads. So much so that when you see another scholar and approach them and their hair is not red, you actually ask them if something is wrong. You have an archer tag to this character. Do I need to say more? You are literally the closest thing to a woman that we could possibly have without losing your penis. Archer may have already lost his penis, so we can't say that. Okay? LGBTQ friendly femboy freak class that honestly we are accepting of because society accepts you. And to be honest with you, femboys can be kind of cool. The fact we have no idea how you got a Pepsi sponsorship because we thought that you were originally sponsored by Anheuser-Busch. You want to have sex with a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. You do not care. This class could literally come without a weapon. And you would too. It literally would not matter. If this class had no weapons and their only purpose was to stand around in town, you would still main this class. Because you locked in on that thong and her midriff and you said, all right, I'm out. That's it. Oh, God. Honestly, to be clear, you guys have now been watching this video on YouTube for at least 30 minutes and have not liked the video. Please scroll down, like the video. If you liked it enough, you can click subscribe too. Insane. Then you get to know when my videos go. Then the algorithm knows that you want to see more of my videos in the future. And if you didn't like the video for that reason, take a look at, oh my God. Ask me how my description of Dark Knights Everywhere was not the most accurate. Tell me that my description of the Dark Knights was not spot on.